5:30, police arrested two teens who they say threatened to shoot and kill two girls back in September. Social media members of CMPD's Juvenile Accountability and Diversion and Accountability Empowerment team helped to track down the teens and recover the guns. CMPD says the firearms were reported stolen. After Helene knocked out power for so many, some are looking for ways to keep the power on when the next disaster strikes.
Channel 9's climate reporter Michelle Alfini explains how renewable technology can help if we build for it.
One of my main arrays is in the front.
When Sammy Kurdar decided to go solar 5 years ago,
It comes into these two inverters, and from the inverters it feeds the batteries as well as the house.
it wasn't just about going green, but preserving power.
In 2012, we went through Hurricane Sandy, did not have power for 6 days. It was a very painful experience.
So when he moved to Charlotte, he invested in solar plus battery storage, so his home can generate and store its own electricity. Now when the power goes out, his lights stay on, even through disasters like Helene.
We didn't feel it. It really didn't affect us at all.
This is what's called a microgrid, a system that can disconnect from the utility and provide on-site power in an emergency. We've seen versions at farms, homes, and even in disaster response to communities hit hard by Hurricane Helene. But experts say this technology responds best when it's there before disaster strikes.
Think about building extensive solar storage kinds of microgrid structures and have them be owned by the school district or have them be owned by the city.
Lorenzo Christov is an independent consultant focused on renewable technologies. He says right now, state and city leaders haven't caught up to the potential for things like solar plus storage at a local level. But he says it should be a priority when designating possible shelters and community hubs.
Be places that can take in a couple of hundred people and that maybe have kitchen facilities that can serve some food.
The issue is, building up these microgrids can be expensive. Home storage batteries are around $10,000 each, and the kind of solar system that could power a school would be tens, if not hundreds of thousands. While users can recoup some of that cost through lower energy bills, that would take years. And that upfront investment needs to come from somewhere.
I think it's something that every state ought to be funding for every community because we really can't predict anymore what kinds of disasters are going to happen in what places.
Money for projects like this was set aside in the Inflation Reduction Act through tax credits and programs like Solar for All. But Christoph believes initiatives need to be more targeted and urgent.
We better count on the climate getting worse. So how do we prepare for local communities to be more resilient and for people to be able to sustain themselves when these things happen?
Michelle Alfini, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Mud and debris are still a big problem in the high country. The owner of the Corner Kitchen in Biltmore Village says that the mud was about 6 to 7 inches deep and filled with toxins inside his business. He says when crews first went in, they had a hard time breathing. And now they're being overly cautious because of it.
We tend to wear long sleeve shirts. We wear N95 masks. We wear gloves. We wear rubber gloves inside regular gloves to keep any of the liquid from getting to our skin.
Now the cleanup continues. Once they get all the mud out, crews can start the process of rebuilding. The Corner Kitchen hopes to reopen in time for Easter.